What new additions have you made this summer?
Well, we've made 2 additions. So we have a new customer care specialist as part of the Andrews team, administrative team, that is currently getting her real estate license. And for our second year in a row, we have a college intern. And I'll allow them to introduce themselves. Kaitlyn?
Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Kelly. I'm currently a rising senior at the University of South Florida. I'm majoring in finance with a minor in real estate, so I was really eager to get an internship opportunity this summer and gain some experience in the brokerage side of things. So I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
Good, good. And Maureen?
Thank you. My name is Maureen Capillo. I'm a former school executive. I left education last summer and have been exploring real estate as a potential second career. I started with the Eric's team in March. I'm the client care coordinator. I help get all of our new clients onboarded, and everything up and listed on MLS. I've learned a lot. It was a lot, I think, simultaneously doing the course and getting my brokerage license while also working for Eric, but he's been super flexible with the schedule, and I've learned a ton since starting here.
Were you learning bad things here at the office that went against what you were taught in class?
No, I was not. The Eric's team, and he has this really robust process around checklists and system management, efficient systems. And Leanne, Laura, and I, the 3 ladies up at the front, follow this checklist, and it's been really beneficial. It adds structure to the day and to the work, and it's a point to check when, if we've made a mistake or we don't know what to do next, we always can look at those checklists.
I think one of the things that you hear about when you take classes is that they're teaching you how to pass the exam, but they're not teaching you how to sell real estate or whatever. And I think one of the things that we pride ourselves in is we are by the book. So you might learn how to sell real estate better in an actual office environment. But as far as the rules are concerned, they do a good job of that in your class. And so I think one of the fun things is that this was the second year that we've had an intern in our office. And you seem real excited about it because with your background as an educator, but also one of the fun ways of learning yourself is to help somebody else learn. And you guys have had a pretty tight relationship this summer, and I think it fed off of each other. Can you go into a little bit of the education experience that you have and how that went, and then what you guys learned, and then hear from Kaitlyn as well?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things we know, any good educator knows, that a child or an adult learns best by teaching others once they've gotten to a sort of certain level of mastery. And so I helped onboard Kaitlyn. I interviewed and got her started back in March and April, and then have been working with her here in the office all summer, and it's been really nice to seal all the things that I learned in class and in my practical day-to-day work with Eric's team, to then be able to help Kaitlyn with her projects and answer some of the questions that maybe I just learned the answers to a week before. So it's been a nice sort of triple dip on the content of what you need to know to be a broker, and I've really enjoyed working with Kaitlyn and learning alongside her this summer. It's been great.
How about you?
I really enjoyed my time with Maureen this summer. I love how close-knit this office is, so just between sitting at the desk with Maureen and watching her with all of her daily tasks and operations that she goes through, I feel like I got very familiar with the process of commercial real estate and some of the things that come with that and how the deals are structured and whatnot. So I really enjoyed working with Maureen and just shadowing with Eric a little bit, going to appointments with him and sitting in and just hearing his phone calls on a day-to-day basis. I definitely learned a lot with the data side of things and how we use MLS and structured listings and deals and whatnot. So it's all been very, very useful information.
Well, let's go into how we all met.
Yes.
Because is it your mom or your mom and dad, or they're friends with Sean Britt?
Correct.
And
my
we
mom
recently merged with Sean's company, Triangle Living, and Sean is one of the top residential brokers in the Triangle. And she's like, I got somebody smart, really a go-getter. I think she'd be great for your office. She's like, the way she's structured, an internship really didn't work for her. I'm the traditional office where, not everybody still does it the old school way. We actually come to work at 8 to 9 in the morning. We leave at 5 to 6 at night, and we actually work our butts off all day long in the office, which is not the traditional way of doing real estate anymore. It's evolved. It's post-COVID work from home, and it's not the traditional office atmosphere, but we definitely have that. Sean said, I have this great person. I'm like, yeah, I did the internship last year. He was a good guy and everything. He was also a real estate major, but like I didn't know how we were set up for that. And also, you grew up in the Apex area. You're probably thinking things were a little bit slower in the Pittsburgh area. So just how and to your credit, we did a phone interview, and you knocked it out of the park. I mean, I went from I don't know to wow, this is an impressive young lady. You really did. You switched my attitude on it. So can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so my mom has known Sean for over 20 years or something like that. And I knew of Sean in the residential area because I live in Raleigh. So I had heard about her and her business, and so I met with her for dinner. And I talked to her about wanting to go in more into commercial. And she mentioned that going back, if she would go back into real estate again, she would maybe consider commercial also. She was like, well, I just merged with Eric Andrews, and he's a big land guy, but also touches in other areas of commercial. So that's, someone that you should talk to, and that'd be a great opportunity. Because, like he said, she is more of a remote business operation, so there's not a physical office. So I talked with Eric over the phone, and I was not familiar with Pittsburgh at all. So coming over here, I was actually blown away by how much business Eric deals with and gets his hands on. So that's been amazing to see the development that's been in this area, and also just how much clientele he deals with on a daily basis.
There's some fun things.
It's been really fun.
One of the things that helped you a bunch in the interview is that you have a background. The family has a car dealership.
Correct.
And I love it when people have background in a car dealership because I feel as though you've been exposed to true sales, and I felt as though that you are thick-skinned.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The car business definitely requires a lot of grit, so that is something that I got to experience early on.
And it took several weeks before you even had a name.
True. I started out as intern.
She was
and then
the intern for
the
the first.
intern.
So I kept forgetting her name, and I was like, "Oh, give this to the intern." And it didn't bother her at all. She was thick-skinned. It's been fun. It's been very fun. So you were surprised about the volume of business that happens in Pittsburgh as opposed to Raleigh and the Apex area. You've shadowed a couple of the deals that have been made with lots of zeros at the end of them, I'm proud to say.
Lots of zeros.
Lots and lots of zeros. So there have been some big deals that she's been a part of. And by weird coincidence, one time I took you on a residential because I had a friend that was in the residential world and everything. You've been on commercial listing appointments. You've been on commercial buyers appointments. You've done an incredible amount of research for us, which has been really, really fun. I really think that you took some great initiative on some of the research. What were some of the surprises that you discovered with the research that you did, or what's some of the surprises that we figured out together?
Honestly, it wasn't so much of a surprise because I had learned a little bit about this in my classes, but most of the classes I've taken so far touch on commercial, but not so much specifically land. Mm-hmm. It was very surprising seeing the process of a land deal and how long that takes to actually come into play to get it from under contract to closed. But so there was one project I worked on that went over all of Eric's sales from 2000 to present time in Chatham County. So just seeing the differences in turnover on residential to commercial to land was fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I first started, I sold houses, and I got my specialization in land, and that land, just raw land, became my focus. And then when you do so much raw land, you tend to delve a little into the commercial as well. So it used to be commercial unimproved, and now it's been some commercial improved as well. So you've done some great maps for us. I think that's been real fun. Anything that you discovered with some of the projects that she worked on?
I think for me, new in the field, one of the most amazing things, I say on the phone that we're a small but mighty team. I think you come in and you really do feel like there's a warmth. It's as we mentioned, a kind of like family atmosphere in the office. Our clients come back year after year to be served by us. But we're also quite serious and really get the job done. And so one of the things that really surprised me is just the fact that there's not really anyone else in the market that does what Eric does in the way that he does it. We did some research on trying to find like an equivalent competitor to Eric in the triangle in the area, and there just isn't. There's other folks that do his volume, like Sean and Carrie out in Raleigh on high-end residential, but there's not another land guy that does what he does in the way that he does it.
Well, when I first met Len, I asked Len, what do you do? And he said SEO, and I was like, I can't even spell SEO. I don't know what that is. And when he described what he did, and I said, well, who do you do it for mainly? And he's like, well, this is my main source of clientele. And I was like, huh. I said, have you ever thought about doing it for a real estate broker? And he's like, oh, that's interesting, da-da-da. So, like, it kind of came about organically, but, like, because Len and I have known each other for such a long time, one of the things I asked Kaitlyn, I was like, I want to know who has, like, better placement, who has more SEO, who has, like, more social media out there and everything. She's like, yeah, we're the, not only were we the tops in Chatham, but we were the tops in all of the Raleigh area, whatever. So that was hugely important, because I wanted to know, okay, what can we do to tweak it? What can we do to do better? And she's like, yeah, you're hitting it. So we're doing a good job and everything. As far as the team thing, so Kaitlyn, actually, you went to our team meetings, which I thought that was fun. I thought you contributed. I thought you learned everything. You saw that I might get a little distracted every now and then. Occasionally. But at the same time, like, we're there for the business. The thing that I was like, that you saw a lot of this summer and everything is I'm happy when I'm interviewing for new sales. I'm happy when we actually sign the actual sales. I'm happy when we put those under contract, and I'm happy when we actually have closings. And you saw, like, this was a really, really good summer to see all those. It was going in the funnel and it was coming out of the funnel exactly the way it was supposed to. So
definitely
that was really good, and definitely made some improvements. You were part of creating a brochure this summer, and you as well. You guys worked together on that. I think that was hugely important.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is just that you can just hear it in what we just were talking about. He's just so focused on learning, even when you want to know who else out there is doing, what are they doing, and how can I modify or change what I'm doing to better serve the client. And that constant sort of feedback loop on the education piece has really been inspiring to see, obviously, as an educator.
Well, I think that's funny.
Also as a learner.
Where you and I have the overlap with the education or whatever, I was a lateral entry teacher when I first came to Northwood, so I didn't have my actual teaching certification. And I talked to Miss Broda across the hallway, and I was like, what do I need to do? And she's like, you just beg, borrow, and steal from everybody. You'll figure this out and everything. And so that's what I did as a teacher and everything. I was like, okay, this is what this teacher's doing. I like this. I could use this. Okay, this is what this teacher's doing. And you change it to make it your own. Well, that's what I did in real estate. I mean, I begged, borrowed, and stealed all the time. Stealed? Stole. But I was lucky because I was taking a class out in Colorado, and a guy's like, you need to sign up for this new Twitter thing that came out. And I'm like, what? What's Twitter? I mean, I had no idea what it was. And then meeting up with Len and the SEO was real lucky. We've had some hits or misses. Rosie, a couple years didn't work. We did a virtual assistant answering the phone, and nobody liked Rosie, so Rosie got fired. People like to talk to actual
real
human
people,
beings.
yeah.
But yeah, we certainly don't do things the same. You were part of a new evaluation checklist that I think has been helpful and everything. So it's been some good times. So you're going to graduate pretty soon, but you're not immediately going to work?
Not immediately. I'll be graduating in December, and then I'll begin pursuing getting my broker's license.
Cool.
Shortly after that.
Great. Wow. She's already been offered a position here. We understand that she's going to look at other places and whatnot, but anybody that hires this young lady will be it'll be a solid asset to them. And Maureen actually passed her real estate exam, and you're now you have your license, but now you're going through the accessory classes to make yourself real and bona fide.
That's right. July 1st, provisional license for North Carolina, so provisional broker, and I have three additional classes I have to take. I'm going to stay working for Eric for the year full time, and take those 3 additional classes, and we'll see what happens next.
Good. Well, it's been fun.